It's a beautiful day for some DSA, and welcome back to the Cozy Club, my friends. My name is Cozy Gamer, and today we are going to be taking the first look at Big Hero 6. Yes, we got the news video out there, but we're going to get the full in-depth guide out a little bit later this week. This team is just a little bit more complex, and it's going to take a little bit of time for me to understand fully the strategies and the best turn order and things that I want to bring to you guys in that in-depth guide video. But I wanted to bring you a video first talking about Big Hero 6 as a whole, my opinions, as there's a lot of them floating around right now, who to go for first, who to go for if you're free to play and not going for Baymax, like plug and play characters, and then again, just general thoughts. I'm also going to be talking about the best abilities to upgrade first, just one key one for each character. Again, for the full stone breakdown, ability breakdown, and everything else, that will be coming down in the in-depth guide. But today, let's go ahead and talk some Big Hero 6. Now, Baymax is the second legendary that we have received in Disney Sorcerer's Arena, and let me tell you guys, he did not disappoint. Now, I know there's a lot of feedback that Big Hero 6 is not doing enough damage, and this, that, and the other. First of all, guys, it is way too early to predict how good they're going to be in the meta, but I can tell you that characters from this squad are involved in the new best meta teams in DSA, but also every single one is looking to be above that A tier in the tier list. But we're going to be giving the way too early tier list ratings on this video and a full breakdown on another video. This team absolutely rocks. Each character has great abilities that honestly can plug and play with a lot of different teams. Gogo offers something great for doing counters to this team, so I like that within the team there's going to be somewhat of a counter built towards the team itself. Honey Lemon is an absolute unit. We'll get to her. Wasabi is an incredible frozen tank, helpful effect, shield killer, and Baymax, well, Baymax is legit. Now, if you like controlling your opponent, Big Hero 6 is great for controlling the battlefield, kind of like Kingdom does, but in an enhanced version of that. Let's go ahead. Let's dive into each character and talk about what they do good. And then at the end, I'm going to talk about them as a team and where I see them falling within the meta. And if you guys want, again, that full in-depth guide, go ahead, hit that subscribe button. We're almost to 7,000. And of course, guys, we have been testing them on Twitch. We've done about 3 streams now with them. Been going against the meta teams. We had our Meta Monday and put together some great teams. You can find the link in the description to join the Twitch channel, guys, in the Cozy Club there. Let's go ahead and hop onto our first character, and that's going to be Gogo. Now, again, first thoughts, we're not going to talk complete stats, but I can just tell you guys, Gogo is lightning fast. She's going to be the fastest character in the game under a hero lead, especially with that speed stone. Now, just right off the bat, the first things people are saying about Gogo is that her damage is lackluster. Now, let me go ahead and make a counter argument to this and say that she is death by 1,000 cuts. She does a little bit of damage every now and then. She can do some great damage. Now, mine is maxed out more towards that T7, so at lower levels, she might not pack that punch that you're looking for, but she is very hard to hit as she constantly is giving herself evades, and she can reduce turn meter on the battlefield, put defense down, and do some great AoE attacks. For the most part, none of her attacks are going to only hit one unit. She is not a single target damager. She does multiple AoE attacks with both of her abilities, and she continues to take turns and turns while your opponent sits there, especially when she starts synergizing with the other Big Hero 6 characters. And again, at first initial thoughts, her zero resistance special is going to be key to probably taking out these Big Hero 6 squads just as much as finding these new meta teams and using them. The more fun part is finding the counters to them, and eventually, yes, we're going to find plenty of counters, and I will bring those to you guys. Now, in the way too early tier list, I'm going to go ahead and put Gogo in the lower A category. Now, in the final meta teams, as of right now, she's not quite making that cut to be in the final 5. Although when I do run all Big Hero 6, she does some great things, and at times she really surprises me. She's going to be needing a lot more testing for me to get a firm opinion on her. But if we're just going to talk about Gogo as a whole and you just want to laser focus on her, my one bit of advice for this video is go for her passive welcome to the Nerd Lab. You're going to want to upgrade this to level 2 because before you do that, she almost isn't even worth using. This is going to be giving her a charge whenever she's on a helpful effect or a shield is given to her. And really, her whole kit is based around these charges, both damage and effectiveness overall. So if you do have the beta runes and you don't have that many, go ahead and get it on Welcome to the Nerd Lab. Now for Gogo, go ahead and... That's a lot of goes. Go ahead and put a speed stone on her. The more speed, the better. Need for speed. Get her to be the fastest character on the squad, as she needs that to do death by 1,000 cuts. Next up, let's take a look at Honey Lemon. And guys, you probably know it by now. Honey Boo Boo, Honey Lemon is the character to go for. Now, whether you are going for Baymax, free to play, have a kingdom team, it's kind of like Bubbles and it doesn't matter. Honey Lemon is an absolute excellent support who can fit into just about any squad. Let's go ahead. We're going to go over her kit very briefly. She does a great basic, removing 15% turn meter. Now, like Gogo, we are going to talk about one essential beta ability that you want to upgrade, and that is going to be 2, depending on how you run Honey Lemon. Now, I'm going to get you, again, the 4 ability breakdown priority in the in-depth guide, but for now, you're going to want to pick one of these 2 things. Now, if you run her as a plug-and-play, a smidge of Cobalt is no-brainer the best ability to upgrade on Honey Lemon. You can give her tactics with someone like Bubbles, and you're looking at a 3 adjacent silence, guys. A silence on 3 people to start a match or while in a match is going to give you a significant advantage and a significant lead. Now, if you're running her with Big Hero 6, you're actually going to want to upgrade Kim Purse probably first, and what that's going to do is feed more and more charges to the rest of the Big Hero 6 squad. Guys, she's going to be an easy rank S tier character. We don't even really have to think about that. She's got a mass AoE slow, not a chance to slow, a mass AoE slow. On top of that, she has stun, intimidate. She charges up the BH6 squad. There's nothing bad about Honey Lemon. And if you don't and you're on the fence whether you're going to go for Big Hero 6 or not, the safe bet as of now is just invest in the Honey Lemon because you're not going to regret it and she can fit in a lot of teams. Next up, let's look at the shield helpful effect Frozen Killer. And that's Wasabi. And Wasabi's a bit more difficult to place, mainly because when he first came out, he did have a couple bugs that they did touch up as of me releasing this video. But Wasabi is an absolute unit of a damage dealer and one of the best damage dealers that we've seen come to Disney Sorcerer's Arena. Now, it's all about having helpful effects and shields on the enemy. Now, his passive is great because A, it ignores defense and that starts to stack up. Also, his other passive keeps him alive a lot longer. When you're looking at the Green Blades of Fury, his super move, he can gain an extra turn and put heal block and shield block on an opponent, which is an absolute great move. In his first ability, can do some epic damage versus the likes of Kristoff or other helpful effect characters that have big stacks of helpful effects, taunt, and so on. His passive also guarantees him to have a critical hit when facing shield, which every team nowadays has that hero Amada, and then his basic does some great damage to boot. I'm loving myself Wasabi. I'm hoping he fits into the final pack, and it's looking like he might have a spot on the final meta team. If you're kind of 50-50 where to go right now, maybe hold up on Wasabi, but if you want a solid damage dealer that can plug into a lot of different teams, Wasabi's the way to go. Now, with one beta, go ahead and throw it on You Want to Dance. You want to get that 50% upgrade. Start stacking that damage with Wasabi. After all, with no damage, Wasabi isn't doing what he's meant to do, and so that is the first beta that you're going to want to put on him to get you guys started. And then, obviously, we want to capitalize on the attack that he already has, so put an offense stone on this character to really get him boosted up and going. Now, Wasabi is really hard to place, and I want to get even more testing with him now that I've got him maxed out. I want to see the max potential that he can do now that the bugs are fixed as well. Right now, I have him at the top of A tier, but I want to see exactly where he falls, whether he's going to be in that mid A tier, high A tier, or even low S tier. I feel like Wasabi could be very clutch, especially against, again, these shield helpful effects teams, which are littering the current PvP arena. All right, we're gonna skip hero and we'll get back to him when we do have that in-depth guide, but let's look at the man, the myth, well, I think he's a man, the legend, Baymax, baby. And Baby is looking cray. He is the S tier tank that is going to be doing everything that you would possibly want from a tank, guys. I don't need to sell it to you. His kit sells it to you. He is the first auto-taunting tank as soon as the battle begins. And you might ask, Cozy, why is that important? Well, let me tell you, you might have Zerg, you might have Scrooge, some other heroes that are targeted very fast when the battle begins, but not anymore because Bebe is sitting there with his taunt and they have to go through him first. So yes, I know for many of you guys, he is locked and you're probably not going to see him until the second time around. Yes, I still think it's possible to get Baymax the second time around. We should have a good amount of double drops and things like that. If you really want him, go ahead and focus on all the Big Hero 6 characters. But just taking a quick look at him, and the first ability you should upgrade on him is the upgrade, probably the best ability in the game. I'm going to go ahead and say it, and that is Major Impact. Now let's go ahead and let's open it and look exactly what it does. Major Impact is going to purge helpful effects on the entire enemy team. It does depend on the charges on Baymax, but he gets these charges very easily. It's also going to cleanse all the harmful effects on your team so you can get rid of those stuns, charms, and silences. And all together, it is a crazy efficient move. If that's not enough, harmful immunity for your entire team. And lastly, defense up for your entire Big Hero 6 team. Oh yeah, did I forget this heals your teammates too? Guys, this is the move. This is obviously the first upgrade you want to do, as it's going to give your team harmful immunity, getting rid of those pesky silences and anything that might slow down your path to victory. Guys, I'm going to say it now. The Big Hero 6 squad does require a lot of abilities to synchronize the best. All of them together is probably not a meta team, even though I am taking down Frozen hybrid teams like Frozen Hero Dash and so on. I do think that there are better teams available with hybrid Big Hero 6 teams. We've talked about it on this channel before. Hybrid is always going to be the meta of some sort, but Baymax is an absolute unit who's going to be sticking around in the meta, or at least a part of meta teams, for the long foreseeable future. Now, if you don't have Baymax, or you have no shot of getting Baymax, or you're free to play and you want Big Hero 6, I'm going to give you guys some fillers to run with the Big Hero 6 squad that is not Baymax, and we'll talk about what characters do well later on this week. Now, quickly, as for stones on Baymax, this is a little bit more complex. I run my Baymax with a 10% speed stone. However, you can make the case for several stones: recovery stones, defense stones, health stones. Everything works well with Baymax. But after running the numbers myself, he already has such a great speed to go along with Hero's lead, so I'm sticking with the speed stone myself. But you really can't go wrong with what you have, and it's a great plug and play stone tune to get what stones you have and just plug it right into Hero. So lastly, we've got the off tank, that is Fred, and he's also kind of the off character. Now, he is a great character, don't get me wrong. He's probably not going to work great with the Big Hero 6 squad. Now, if they are all you have, feel free to use him with the squad. I'm sure he does very well, but in the top end meta, he does lose out on that spot because, again, typically it's looking like Hero, Baymax, Honey Lemon, plus 2 attackers, whether that's Zerg, Dash, Elsa. You can fill that in, but that is looking like that meta team. Looking at Fred, go ahead and slap a speed stone or an attack stone on him, and with your first ability upgrade, It's Fred time has got to be the first one you upgrade. If you upgrade It's Fred time, your Fred is going to have offense up just about the entire battle. And Fred's got a nice, decent chunk of change of health to take plenty of hits as that off tank, but laying mass amount of harmful effects on the enemy, continuous damage. He does some great things. He's kind of the master of none. I enjoy using Fred a lot. I'm going to be plugging him into a continuous damage team, which I'll have a video on later on about. And also, I'll be plugging him into Beer Bash. That's the Judy Hops, the Onward Trio pair. I think he will fit very nicely with them. But Fred, unfortunately, even though our hearts would disagree otherwise, is going to probably be the odd man out here. Go ahead, get Fred. You're going to need him for Baymax anyway, and he works great for continuous damage. But as far as farming order, let's go ahead and talk about that briefly. I would go for Honey Lemon first without any question. After that, if you don't have Hero, obviously Hero Hamada is a very powerful character still, and still an S tier character in my opinion. And then after that, go ahead, get Wasabi, Gogo, and in with Fred. So that is my quick rundown of the Big Hero 6 team. Now, as a team altogether, again, they do need a lot of abilities to make them work well. But guys, you really do control the battlefield quite nicely. And now that these bugs are ironed out, I'm excited to keep on testing this team. Again, I've been inconsistent with them as a whole unit. I am taking down some top teams. But overall, yes, they are lacking a little bit of damage. So in Gogo, Gogo spot, I am replacing her with Elsa or Zerg or some other heroes that I can get off some stronger hitting attacks. Now, I want to make sure and see exactly everything that Big Hero 6 can take by themselves so that we can put that in the next guide that will be coming out. But I'll also be putting the best teams that are with him. Altogether, I do think they are a very solid team that did catch a lot of flack for not being very sexy out of the gate. But Cozy Club, keep in mind, a lot of people did not or do not have the abilities when testing them right now. They were filled with a good amount of bugs, but now all of that is gone and they are starting to shine a lot more. Yes, they work a lot differently than Frozen, but that doesn't mean they are a bad team by any means. And I'm excited personally to start rocking the BH6 in my arena, coming to you every day. So all together, Cozy Club, go ahead, come back for the next guide to see exactly where I'm going to put this team in my opinion. But at the first look, first opinion, I do like what I'm seeing. Guys, thank you so much for coming by, hanging out at the Cozy Club. We have lots and lots of video and content coming to you guys soon, as we had a plethora of stuff last week, and I'm excited to dive into that some more. Look at these abilities. I will be getting a tier list out there as soon as I can. However, with so many new abilities, gears, and level differences, it's going to take some time looking at the best characters in the game. What I can tell you now is if you are starting out this game fresh, it's probably not a bad idea to be going for these heroes, as they're going to be doing very well, especially early, mid-game, and most likely for the rest of your late game, until, of course, the next meta arrives. Be sure to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed what you saw today. And until next time, my friends, stay cozy.